Where's my goddamn display capture? Man, I hate it here. There we go. Hey, King Luke. It's been a while. I've been super busy. On I've been on the job grind, unfortunately. Lot of technical interviews, so I have been swamped. So I have not made a whole lot of progress, but I'm currently working on projectiles for the boss. For whatever reason, my animation just got desynced from um my model, so I had to like resync it. So hopefully I should be shooting stuff. Okay, yeah. It's aiming at the wrong spot right now, but that is what I'm going for. And I think I actually know what the issue is there. It's probably that I am changing the rotation, would be my guess. Let me just do that. Because direction times velocity. And it does set the spawn points correctly. Yeah, this should be quick. All right. Yeah, I've been so busy with everything. I've barely had time to work on the game. Also, please ignore the boss like freaking out every single time. That's currently just an issue. Are they gonna hit me? Okay, cool. So it was a rotation issue. I forgot that those kill me in like literally 2 hits. I should probably give them a much lower damage mod so that I can actually test it. Let's do. What would be like a normal amount? I guess just like that should be a light amount of damage. Yeah, a lot of what I've been doing recently is just applying and interviewing for jobs and then hanging out with Mary, because she's almost graduated with from her master's program now. So she's been kind of stressed and busy, and I've been helping out when I can. But yeah, she's been having it. She's been having it rough. She's been doing all the stuff for the company on top of actually going to college. But she's a trooper. She deserves the world. Damn this shit. I'm sorry. Is did I only do? Why is it still absolutely decking me right now? What the? That's weird. Can I just get like a basic? Give me like. Oh, it's because its base damage is nuts. Um, Let me just do like low damage. This will be like 0.01%. Give us nothing. Also, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring as well recently because like I don't know, I just need something to keep my brain occupied at night, so I've just been playing that a lot. Oh wow. Oh, that's a lot of things that hurt. That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't apply the damage mod. You know, Elden Ring's really fun. Actually, so I got it at launch fucking two years ago now, something like that. Um, and I played it nonstop for like 2 weeks, and then a little issue came up, which was I had finals like in the middle of it being released. Oh God, it's I need to talk to Chloe about that. Um, so I was fighting Melania 2 years ago, but unfortunately I had finals, so I said, okay, I need to lock in. I need to not be doing this right now. And then I just never picked it up. I was literally very close to beating Melania. I only had to beat her and then the final boss, and I would have been done. But I just didn't. And then I left it there for like a year and a half. And then I finally got back into it a little bit. Um, like when Shadow of the Erdtree came out. But by that point, I like was absolute garbage at the game. I hadn't touched it in forever. I still wanted to beat Melania, but I just couldn't. So I actually restarted a whole save. Um, and as of 2 days ago, I finally beat Melania. So I have now, after 2 years, finally gotten back to where I was previously. But that game's awesome. I really adore that game. Like it's one of the reasons why I like wanted to make a Souls like. Finals are when amazing game comes out. So terrible. Real. No, real. It's awful. It messes with me like every single time. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Um all right, let me cuz I do want this to rotate properly. And I think all I need to do is this, but it might throw off the calculation that it's doing. I need to look at how translate works because I think translate does take into consideration rotation. And if it does, that's not great. Oh, I double clicked. My bad. So if this projectile still hits me, it means that I've done my job correctly. If not, womp womp. Let's see. Nope, it's shooting straight down. Okay. So translate. Ah, okay. Oh, oof. So that's not what I want. Oh boy. Okay, so I can't do translate specifically because it uses its own axes. That that's really obnoxious. What's its overloads? Because maybe I can do relative to translation relative to. Okay. Because I could maybe do world space instead of its own. Maybe. I think that might mess it up as well, though, unfortunately. Ugh. See, this is the stuff that annoys me because, like, Holly made a pretty good projectile system, but it doesn't do like one little thing. Can I instead move it? I'm trying to remember how I want to do this. Because the main issue with this is that I want it to actually aim at you. Because otherwise they're just going to like float midair instead of looking like they're shooting towards you. What an obnoxious system. And not because Holly messed up, just because like translate doesn't seem to have a way to lock it. Here, let me cook for a second. So is there just a transform direction? Or it'd probably be transform position. I don't want to set. I want to like... Man, this sucks. I think for now I'm just going to keep it not rotating. Because otherwise I'm not going to be able to actually get any work done. And I want to actually move forward instead of adjusting something that technically already works. I also need to do like a check so it's not doing that stuff anymore, but I should be able to now have it like shoot at me. It's very slow. It looks like it's very choppy as well, so I might want to... I can't tell if that's frame rate or if that's just the translation. Or it could be that the boss is trying to not be in that state. It could be a lot of things. Also, another thing I want to do real quick before I move on is I want to take this plane and make it invisible. Because I don't like how it keeps jittering in and out. But let's move on to... I think I'll do the breath attack next, because that one technically works. I think all I'll really do is bump up the velocity to like, I don't know, 100. I don't know, how bad is 100 gonna be? It might be awful actually. So let me check make sure this is on YouTube real quick. Dude, what? Oh, because it's not live. Womp womp. Cool. Just checking, because I've had issues on YouTube with it not wanting to display my stuff. Alright, bye Luke. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you feel better. I know you said your like chest and legs hurt. Yeah, go rest. And that is slow. That is so slow. But for now, I'm going to go with it. Because the next one's going to be even more. So basically what I'm going to do... How do I want to go about this? Because I only want to instantiate the pool one time. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this projectile. Where is it in the project? Let me see. Let me like, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. Where is this? So this is in actors' behaviors? Okay. So I'm actually going to just move this to the boss. And then we're going to go in there. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to name it to, I guess, mist projectile. Sure, why not? And we're just going to mess with this a little bit. We're going to do boom, bam, okay. And we're going to do just, we're actually going to remove this sphere collider, or capsule collider, and we're going to make it a sphere. Just because that'll be easier. And I think 0.5, I think 0.5 makes sense. Oops. And we're also going to do low damage, just so we can test it, because I have no clue how powerful this is going to be. We're not going to destroy on impact. And we're going to have like a 3-second lifetime. No, I'm going to leave it at 5. And then we're going to do like, let's just go stupid with it. Let's give it that like 300. And then we're going to replace this with, I guess, just give me a sphere. Give me default sphere. Is that the correct size? I guess is the big question. Yeah, no, that looks correct. All right, cool. Actually, I might do, just for the sake of having it being visible when we actually test it, we're gonna double that size. And I'm also not gonna have it be mist, because that's gonna be really, maybe that's why it was so iffy on the sphere, because this is like a moving shaded texture. Let me just do like a normal emissive. Like, give me, what do we got? What do we got? Lamp? Yeah, give me this. Yeah. And then actually, kind of same thing. I'm gonna go in here and do the same thing. And that's mostly just because this shader is not gonna be great when it's just a projectile moving. It's not needed. Lamp. Yeah, that'll work. I'm also gonna apply my changes because it's not, it needs applying. Or it's not gonna let me, and that's gonna suck. Oh well. But let's make a new attack. We gotta rename all of these, unfortunately. But shouldn't take that long. And okay. Now we just gotta change a few little things. We're gonna do like 0 to, I don't know, 30. going to do 0 to 30. We're going to make sure that this is the correct input. That's fine for damage mods for now. But we got to make sure that this is here. And then we need... Oh, cool. It's not... I hate when it does that. Thanks, Unity. Very cool. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to set up our... What do I want to call this? We're going to call it our mist pool. Sure. And then we're going to drag this in here. And just, like, I don't know. Give me, like, a ton of them. Give me a stupid amount. Give me 30? I don't know. Or I guess... I think the big issue... Oh, I also... Oopsie. It's been a while since I've used my PNG tuber. I forgot where my binds were. So, I could either give it a new throw object script, in which case I think the animator will hate me. Let me see. If I do throw object, just another one. And if I go to animation, is this yelling at me? It sure is yelling at me. Yeah, because it's going to be unclear which one it's trying to get. Which, that sucks. Though I could instead... Because this is 30. This is a lot. Now I'd want this kind of figured out beforehand. But now I got to think where I want this throw object script to be. And now I actually got to check now if does this work properly? Cool. So now I got to figure out how I want to do this. Because I could theoretically either A, instantiate all these objects at least at the beginning of the attack, which is terrible. I don't want to do that. Or what I could do is instead, I'm going to move this over a little bit. So this is create projectile pool. And what this does is basically says, like, if there's no projectiles, create a new list from the object that you have. Now, instead, what I could do is basically make a do public void set projectile pool game object parent. And then what we can do is essentially oh, but then it doesn't. Ooh, because it currently does length. I forget, is this a list or is this an array? This is an array. So I would need to do... Oh, I cannot spell. Let me see. So I need to do projectile pool gets parent dot get what would it be? Get components in children. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head, I believe this returns a list of all of this component in its children. And it does give an array of projectiles, which is what it's looking for. So theoretically, this will be perfect. And what I can actually do now is instead of having it do this, I can actually just like hit that with a 0. I would need to have to do this anyways. Where is this run, by the way? Oh, it's run at start. So I do not want to be instantiating. So I'm actually gonna take that back actually. I'm gonna leave this here. And I'm only gonna leave that here because that way we're not instantiating objects at the very beginning. That's not needed. I am also going to add a check of so if it has objects, or if don't need the if, or if what was it? What was it called? Was it my game object? Projectile prefab. Nope, not even close. Or if projectile prefab is null. And that actually cleans it up more for me, because that means I can actually just... We now have that guard statement making a lot more sense, and now I can actually set this to 0, but also do this, and that's perfectly fine. So now it's not going to run that. It's not going to instantiate a bunch of objects that we don't need. So I'm going to give this, like, none. It doesn't need any. And now, what we're going to do, I'm going to add animation event. I'm going to throw object, set projectile pool, and then we're going to set that projectile pool. Oh, can I not do that? Uh-oh. That's not what I was hoping for. Does that not work how I want it to work? Oh. Ooh, yikes. Okay. What if I do transform? What if I do transform parent dot game object Does that let me pass it in properly? Because if I can't pass it in, then this is kind of a waste, unfortunately. So let me see. Can I drag this in? I cannot. How? How would I go about this? So I could theoretically, I could either do one of two things. I could either have this take a string. I did not that capitalized string. Um, and then like get child oh I would need the this dot transform dot child hash out finds child or get child index. Why is that deprecated? That feels useful. But I could either find child, which is not super optimized, or I could pass it in. So okay, so instead what I could do theoretically is I could actually take this away and instead um have a what do I want to have this as? This would be I guess I should probably I guess header's fine. But I'd want this to be a public I guess game object transform. It doesn't particularly matter. A public game object current pool object. Then I could do current pool object dot oops, I inserted dot get components and children. And that should theoretically work. I would need to I need a guard statement. If current pool equals all right, and that allows us to have separate object pools that aren't pulling or instantiating. I think that makes sense. I think that like is reasonable. Let me turn these off. 0, 0, negative 500. I just want them out of the way so you can't see them. Won't really matter long term, but I want to just make sure you can't see them. And now finally, we can do this. I'm gonna have that set object pool. I'm gonna put this like here so that way we can go here, record, and set it to spear pool. Well, now what this will do is it'll set it here. This projectile pool should fill, and then it should be able to shoot them all. So let's test that out. Theoretically, that makes sense. Not the ad. Oh, you're getting ads? Damn. But thanks for stopping by, Bossy. It's been a minute since I've streamed, so I appreciate you guys stopping by. Alright. Please just work. If this doesn't work, I will be so goddamn sad. Okay. Did not work. Where's it going wrong? So it is spear pool, but it's not setting the projectile pool. Why is it not setting that? Is there something up here? Set points. That should work. Damn, dude. I kind of thought I was cooking with this, not gonna lie. Am I misremembering how get components in Children works? Get components in Children Unity. No, that's correct. I feel the same putting my boss in the debug boss arena and then it not working. So sad. Dude, real. It's there's a lot of just little things, and every little thing makes it hard. The boss especially is so much more complex. By the way, thank you for subscribing. I didn't notice that a second ago. But like the boss is so complex. Compared to like a normal enemy that I actively need to script new stuff just for it. Cause this projectile pool system that we had working before was fine. Except when you have to have multiple projectile types. And so now I'm trying to work around that. Is it... Is it that projectile prefab is used somewhere else? I don't think so. I think it was only used at there. Yeah. Why are you like this? Why do you hate me? I need to call that reference. Here, I'm gonna hit it with the debug log. I'm gonna hit it with I don't want to do this. Let's just do like projectile pool, I don't know, 0. Just make sure that it's actually doing something. It probably isn't. I forget how arrays are printed if I just do this. Let me just actually do that first, see if that works. And maybe I'll also like space these out a bit more. Maybe it just needs time. Maybe it's maybe she's thinking. Okay. Please, I'm begging you. Okay, let me do this because I actually want to check, because I can check right now. So it does have spear pool. It should have already set that. Where's my... Okay, so it returns that. Okay. Then let me do this. And this. Maybe it is simply... Okay. Maybe this will do it. Maybe this will give me the info I want. Because if I had to take a guess, it has to just be that, like, it's not setting to the projectile pool. Maybe I need it to be a list instead? I'm like losing it. All right, let's see. Okay, I need to just like... I need to like kill all these extra debugs. Would it have... No, okay. So it's not going to give me projectile. What the... let me do... dot game object dot name. And maybe it's because it's serialized? I don't think so. I don't think serialization does that. I love debugging. It's my favorite thing on the planet. I love it when things just don't work immediately, actually. I don't know, man. It is what it is. It's game dev. I feel like every time I go on stream for game dev, I'm genuinely like, I get why a lot of people don't actually stream their game dev progress, because why would you do this to yourself? I'm sorry, it's not included? Are you kidding me? Dude, what? I probably just need to kill all these. Because I'm getting, like, nothing useful from it. You like seeing the pain? Damn. Nah, you're kind of real for that, though. What if I just, like, debug log? Um, I don't know. A, all caps. I could just find that and then find the timestamp. Makes me feel better about my game. Yeah, every every game hits a point similar to this where like you've been working on it for so long and there's always just going to be issues. It's genuinely gotten to the point where like there's been discussions on the team of like, are we gonna... Okay, I got the timestamp. Oh, are you kidding me? It doesn't actually... Okay. I'm sorry, did you just like skip over it? Or is there just several other stuff on the exact same frame? I'm gonna die, actually. Alright, I need to turn these off. Is what I need to do. Because this is now... Literally, if that's running several times on the same frame and I cannot see, that's just obnoxious. I should have done this from the beginning. Yeah, it is too much info. That debug's already commented out. That one's actually fine. Am I blind? No, I commented that one out. Whenever it's already commented out, I just, like, cannot find it for the life of me. Okay. It was literally just those. My god. Okay, that's still a lot of info. Are you kidding me? It's still giving me... Dude, I'm gonna murder you. Oh, it's literally right there. I'm just stupid. I didn't comment it out. Womp womp. Dude. It's times like these that I'm like... Maybe I should have studied business. Maybe I should have done something else other than game dev. And then I actually make it work and I feel super accomplished, and then the cycle continues. Okay. I'm sorry. Are you telling me... Are you telling me that this actually is null? Despite the fact that I literally just said it. Wait. Wait, you're lying to me. You're just lying to me. I can see that you're set. You're just gaslighting me. Dude, what? Yeah. No, it's so like I set the debug log before null because that at least tells me if it's null or not. Unless it's also here, do I know what also could be, theoretically? It could actually be that this is not getting set, and therefore that's not printing. So it might actually be like one is fine and the other isn't. So let's separate them out. That way the debug logs can print separately. That might be it. Because clearly there's an issue with like either it not appearing in the inspector or it's just not being set, period. No, that is in fact null. It's not let me debug. Or maybe it's not, maybe I'm just crying about it. What do you mean unreachable? What? I'm glad this is entertaining for you because I'm like actively... How on earth is this unreachable code? Do I just need to... Oh, because it's 2 lines? Yeah, it was 2 lines. Me forgetting my goddamn syntax. Me when I lose it. This might make it crash out actually. My mom just sent me a text with an article. Um, since I used to work at Amazon, she sent me an article that said Police are searching for the driver of an Amazon truck who they said was involved with a series of crashes in my area. And then she just said, "Glad it's not you." I was like, "Oh my god." Um, fun fact: I did actually crash once in my Amazon vehicle. I took a fire hydrant with me. Um, that was a whole ordeal. I was super sleep deprived. Um, and I was in a new area, and I took a turn slightly too sharp because I forgot that I'm driving a giant Amazon van and not, you know, a normal car. And so I like completely knocked a fire hydrant right off of its foundation. Luckily it didn't like explode or anything. It wasn't like I caused a leakage, but like that was really bad. It was really bad of me, and I was so sleep deprived. I was genuinely just like, "Oh man, that sucks." Well, the the house is right there, so I guess I'm gonna go deliver my package and then wait for the police to show up. Even the police were like, where's your commercial license for this?" And I'm like, "I don't have one. Why? They don't require you to have one." And they're like, "They what? No, there's no way." And I went, "No, dude. They keep it like literally 2 inches under the legal limit, so that you don't need a special license." I I will never not hate on Amazon. Amazon is awful. I got like I'm so glad that Johnny put me on the salesman because like Amazon was slowly killing me over time. There was so much wrong with that place. Also, it seems like it's not no, it's just not getting it. So I'm now at the point now where I'm not really sure where to go from here. What if I don't know. Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna copy this because I'm lazy. I guess this wouldn't work either, even if I get it, because it's not getting set. I need the other one. I don't know, give me like 5. I don't know. Well, no, because that wasn't getting either. What is going wrong with this? This should not be that much of an issue. There was a wait, random side tangent, but the sleep deprivation is giving the one guy at GDC that fell asleep and started snoring at a panel for sound designers. That's crazy. I did not know about that. That's nuts. That's actually really funny. Like, don't get me wrong, GDC is like super exhausting, but like, dude, oh my god. That's really funny though. Hope it was a good snore. Hope you guys could capture that, put that in a game or something. Because like, good God, just stock up on Red Bulls like I. Nah, you're real for that. I try to get good sleep for GC because like I I am such a like I got such a resting bitch face. Like it is an effort for me to like emote sometimes. Um, and when I'm tired, it's even worse because I get like immediate eye bags, and it makes me look even meaner. So I try really, really hard to just like be awake and aware and happy to be there because otherwise, like, people don't want to talk to me. It's not just because it's a serialized field, right? It's not just like or it might be that it's, wait one sec. So it needs a length. Is it that the length isn't set? No, same. I have the most deadpan face, and I at least live in San Fran, so yay, keeping costs down. Oh, nice. No, you don't. I appreciate having someone to yap to, honestly. It keeps me going because, like, I'll be honest, sometimes I just lock in. Like, if I don't have anyone to yap to, I literally just shut down and stop talking because I just, like, try to figure out what the hell's happening. What I think is the issue is I might need to, no, I need to projectile pool its new projectile array, and then I need to do this new, like, what was this number transform number of children, child count, yeah. That might be it. At least the chat participation rate is 100% real. But that might genuinely be what the issue was. In which case I might want to edit that other method as well, because it's kind of assuming that it already has a length. Let's see. No. It didn't even update the length here. I might just have to, like, give up on this route. Because this is genuinely, like, not doing as it's supposed to. I think I might change this to a list. And then if I do it as a list, I can just add I remember it's list brackets, yeah, something like that. Oh god, now I gotta, like, what is it, count? Yeah. Now I'm probably just gonna have to replace all the counts in here. But that should at least work a little better. Now this probably needs to be like a 4. That's gonna be a lot of Git components. Is there a way that I can? I forget. Do arrays? Can I just cast arrays? Can I cast arrays into lists? I'm, like, genuinely remember trying to remember if I can, or at least the syntax of it. Multitasking chats. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. Okay, I can do it to list. Cool. Yippee. Dot to no? Oh, because I need to use what is it? Link? System dot link. And then I can do to list. Please? This would I'm hoping that this works. Um because this has been like needlessly complicated. Please, for the love of God, just shoot me in the game. Dude, I'm gonna lose it. I'm actually gonna lose it. So it is getting the spirit pool, which means that it should, and it is running this. But it's not actually. Dude, what? I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna go kablooey, actually. This is kind of insane. Um the worst part is that like without this I can't even really test what the hell I wanted to test earlier. Yeah, and this is all just UI issues. I This is one of the few times that I've actually straight up been at a loss of like what to do. Maybe I could do add range instead. Like this is really all the only thing else I have, honestly. Please, for the love of God, I'm gonna lose it, dude. I'm killing you. I'm. You know, it'd be really funny if I just needed to like give it more space. You know, maybe give it more time. I have no clue. I genuinely, I'm actually at a loss right now. Yeah, no, I don't know. Weird, just weird. Like I don't feel like I'm making such a. Why are there two of you? Oh, spawn point current pool. Okay. Yeah, like nothing about what I'm doing is particularly odd. Is the weird thing. All right. So I think now is time to kind of cut my losses with this. The only other thing that I can think of, and this is gonna be my last attempt, is I'm going to essentially take this. I'm going to take this same concept and just do a for int I, what is it? It's a current pool object dot transform dot child count. We're just going to do this and just add them each manually to this list and just hope for the best. Do I need a new list? Do lists need to be instantiated in that way? Oh, brother, wait, hold up. Before we do this BS, let me actually just see if I can. Can I just do this by any chance? I don't think you need to do that. But I could be wrong. It has been a while since I've worked. I usually work with just arrays. It'd be so funny if that was literally the only thing that was stopping it. Was just I didn't set it to new. All right, please, I beg you. Does not seem like it. No. Okay. Well, in that case, we are just going to go back to what I was previously doing. Dude, I have literally. I'm like genuinely at a loss right now as to why this hasn't been working. We're gonna do. Let me think. It would be projectile pool dot add current pool object dot transform dot get child I dot get component projectile. Why are you saying? Oh, because I didn't. There we go. This is literally the only other way I could possibly think of this working. Is having it being a list and then you just add. Like one at a time. I don't like that. I don't like doing get child and then get component over and over. But it's literally the only other way I can think of that this could possibly work. Of course that one works. I'm going to lose it. And it's still not shooting. I'm sorry. Is there now a separate issue? Because that one actually did fill out the projectile pool. which makes me like honestly, I'm actually more mad. I'm actually more mad now than anything else. Um, what on earth? Dude, did it fill it out twice? Maybe. See, that makes me like feel like I'm losing my mind because I don't know why this didn't work previously then. Or even like projectile pool dot like add range. Unless it's just not returning what I think it would be returning, which I don't. Unity documentation. Where am I going wrong? Wait, no, they use arrays too. Dude. Dude, I'm gonna kill you, actually. What do you mean? This shouldn't be an issue. I'm using it as per the documentation, and yet it's not. It's not doing what I want it to. I have no. I think I'm gonna explode. Actually, all I wanted to do was make my stupid like breath attack. Now I got to deal with this. Oh my god! Do I know? Oh my god! Do I know what it is? It's that they're all disabled. That's why it's not bruh. Oh, brother. Okay. That's why it wasn't working. So they need to be. Oh, dude, that's gonna kill me. Because then the issue becomes that I want to disable them. Is the big issue. Oh, dude. So, ignoring everything else, the only way to do this would be to call get component on each child. That's that's expensive. I mean, to be fair, get components in children is also expensive. So like, damn. Okay, I think I might be. I think it might be over for me, actually. I think genuinely, like that. How would I go about this now? This is gonna make this. This is actually it. This is a. It's Jover. I think it might just be over for me. So I could either instantiate these projectiles each time, which is awful. I don't want to do that. Or I could make it so it's just holding the array, and then you pass in the array. You got a crazy idea? I need a crazy idea right now. Because this is not great. I could make this a prefab. And then make it a scriptable object. Would I be able to pass in the scriptable object is the thing. I'd still have to do a get component at runtime, which is not ideal, but it's better than instantiating and running a multiple get component. So I think that might have to be the play right now. Unless whatever you come up with is like absolutely bonkers, but like works. Here, I'm gonna just move. Because frankly, we need a new folder for this anyways. Load them to at the start and call. One sec. I think I understand what you're saying. I am, I think, going to go for making a scriptable object. Scriptable object script. Projectile pool. And then all of this would need essentially, if this will open up. Yeah, because one thing that I've been trying to avoid is a bit more of a Latino hotfix. Nah, you're real for that though. If this was like a game jam, that honestly might be a smart move. Um, but I know for a fact that Holly would get pissed at me if I like ruined their good architecture. Um, I'm gonna let this load in. It's gonna take a hot second. And basically all I will need from this is just for this to house a projectile array that I can then slap onto the parent prefabs. So this should only really need to be a... I cannot spell to save my life. Projectile... Projectile array. It's taken a second to catch up, but I'm pretty sure that's just correct. Here, I'm actually going to do Dude. And I didn't place it in the right spot. Womp womp. And then we're going to do public projectile array, projectile pool. Uh, oh, damn. Yeah, you're right. Cool. Okay. The captions are saying Tyler Ray. That's really funny. All right. That that should be fine. If I'm remembering, I might need to make that a mono behavior if I'm remembering my scriptable objects correctly or not. It's been a minute. Um yeah, I think I would need to make a new. Yeah, I messed that up. My B. Yeah, this is a mono behavior. This feels really stupid. I can make it less stupid if I just do this. Um why are you in yellow? It's because I didn't. Oh, am I stupid? I could have sworn. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought start was a lowercase for some reason. Whatever. Oh, there it is. Now it's blue. Weird. Whatever. Who cares? Okay. Also, I have no clue why I opened two. A little weird, but whatever. So is this gonna run into the same? So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do pretty much what I was doing in the other one. So I'm gonna drag this over for a second. Hopefully I didn't delete it. I did. So I am actually gonna do this projectile get component in children. And then I'm going to actually no. No, because then I would need to is there a disable all children? I don't think there is. It'd probably be like enable. Yeah. So I lied. I'm literally gonna just do this loop, essentially. Oh, but I can't do that loop because it's gonna. What if I just? What if I just don't? What if I don't do the start? What if I'm just lazy And I'll just do it by hand. Like, unironically at this point. I just need something that works and, like, makes somewhat sense. So we're just going to do this. Why are you not visible? Because you didn't serialize the field, dumbass. We always be serializing your fields. There we go. It's going to be 9. Is this super tedious to drag each one of these by hand? Yes. Do I care? No. Because frankly, I kind of needed to do this anyways unless I wanted to run instantiate, which I try to avoid. I try not to instantiate stuff on runtime because, like, best view. Oh, that's a bot. Man. Okay. So now we're going to go back. And now theoretically, all I need to do is do this. I could actually I'm going to change this to, actually, I'm going to like just undo a bunch real quick. I'm going to grab you though. Yeah, we're going to undo a bunch because I don't need this to be a list anymore. We can undo so much insanity. Oh my god. Yeah, I used link and everything. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of stuff that is just now. Okay. Give me, like... Yeah. Give me this. And then get... I don't even actually don't know what. We can be even smarter. Because this does not need to be a game object, because we're setting it in the animator. This can be a projectile pool. And this can literally just be this dot pool. And I am going to rename this because it's no longer the object. Okay. Okay. I think I'm cooking. I think I got it. This is essentially what I wanted from the beginning anyways. This is so smart. I hope so. This has been a lot of running around trying to get other things to work. Um this is the most like brute force way that still makes sense, essentially. So, if this works, and let me actually check my animation. Yeah, because this is now a different type, so it's going to hate me for doing that. So we're going to do boom. Okay. Now the real test. So we're going to hit play. And what we should see is the projectile pool fill up, and then we should see them shoot. And then finally, I can go work on the other thing I wanted to do today. Okay, projectiles. They're not shooting, and that's concerning. Why are you not shooting? That could either be... That makes me really sad, actually. That could either be this not being set now that I've changed. Okay, spawn point is working. Oh, there's a set projectile pool. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Okay. So then it's supposed to spawn projectile. Spawn projectile. Grabs this. You have to call it? Because it didn't happen last time we got the projectile pool full. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, where it's like I have no clue why at this point, now I'm genuinely like, okay. Did I change something in the projectile itself? That would cause it to perish. Let's see. So when you call spawn projectile, get the target, you set it to spawn position, and you set a endpoint. Then you do spawn projectile. Which should set it to active. And then it increments. I don't know why that's not working. Unfortunately. So that's scary. Because I don't think... Because the pool did fill up. We saw that in real time. Let's see. Let's like take this play by play. Okay. Oh, it broke out of the thing. There we go. So it does it. And none of those are getting activated. Where are these right now? Let me go into scene. Why are you over there? Oh, dude, this is a womp. This is womp womp. I think. No, the pool. No, the pool should be further down. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so it's just not moving. Yeah, dude, it's in Narnia. You're real for that. This is like. Dawn, what? Let's check some things. First of all, it is running attack number 5. Cool. What if I just like... Sometimes Unity is a little stupid. What if I just like ensure? Oh. What if I... just redo it. It could also very well be that it's like colliding with something that's not supposed to be colliding with. Wait a minute. Did I just... No, okay. For a second I thought I cooked. Because if this wasn't set, then it wouldn't have done it. So, like... Let me also just add, like, a debug to make sure it's being... Actually, no, I didn't need a debug because I actually have the next open object, which would act as a debug log, essentially. Which means that I guess it wasn't being called here, which is kind of wild. Oops, I went too far. Yeah, that's weird. Dude, you're fucked up for that. This is wild. It's been a minute since I've had a bug that has been this weird and persistent. I know this feels weird, but I should see that debug log, and it's not going there. I have no clue why, but it might be something wrong with the create projectile pool. It'd be wild if that's what's been causing this forever. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, so there's an issue. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, wait. Okay, so if... Why is this giving me a... I didn't mean to do that. Is this giving me a null ref? This might genuinely be... God, I wish there wasn't so many null refs in the UI, but that's what I get for making a test scene without UI. What was it? In the... Oh, it was out of bound range. Oh, okay. So... In that case, what I probably need to do is, first I need to check this. Just make it a better guard statement. So if we don't have a list, or the list exists but nothing's in it, or we don't have a prefab return. Good God. So that was the reason. It was throwing a null ref, and then the entire script just like wouldn't play out properly. I love coding. Coding does not make me mad. Oh, I'm sorry, did it still index was outside the bounds of the array? So I guess what I could do is either just oh, you know, that's the you have to do the new. I don't want to do that. I guess I could just do yeah, is my brain working correctly? And then I can just get rid of that null check because it's technically not null. It exists. It just doesn't have any. Yeah. Yeah. Dude. Okay. Please let this be the one. I'm gonna lose it, dude. So this should tick up to 1, like, immediately. No? Dude, I'm losing it. I don't deserve to code. Oh, wait, do I know what I can do? I can do this check instead. I can do not equal 0. And then that should cancel it out beforehand. Right? Theoretically. Also, just for the sake of it, I am going to move this back. I know it doesn't really matter with the order, but I love coding too. Totally love it. Yeah. Coding can be super satisfying because I like problem solving. It's why I decided to do game dev because it really is a lot of problem solving and a lot of like making stuff work. But sometimes coding just hates you and there's nothing you can do about it. Am I not remembering how the OR works? I thought what it was supposed to do. Yeah. Because what I thought it was supposed to do was make it so that this doesn't need to be evaluated. Hey, idiot. It's supposed to be equal 0. Womp womp. Yeah, this is a. I feel like each time I decide to code on stream, it's like a weird humiliation ritual. Like, I'm just out here just being like, yeah, look how bad I am at this. Sleepy? Alright, please. Yeah, it's literally, I just forgot to do equals 0 then instead of not equal 0. Yep, and there's the projectiles. Getting bonked. Alright. Thank God. So that took me like the last like hour. Good good God. Okay. So we're gonna do the... Oh man, this is gonna suck. Can I, like... Can I multi-drag? Like, I actually don't remember if I can just, like, do this. Damn, okay. How many do I have? I think I did 30. That's technically 31. Let me do 30. This is going to be so tedious. I wish... This is one where I'm like, do I want to edit my script? Because theoretically, I could just add a start. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna do if pool. Oh, I can't do a... I need to do what's it? Pool dot length. Pool dot length not equal 0. Or yeah, not equal 0 return. Otherwise, oh no, because right, this is why I didn't want to do it. Because I would need to activate all the children, then deactivate all the children, and that's just a mess. I'm just gonna hand do it. I literally forgot the reason why I didn't want to do that in the first place. Oh well. I think 30 is like an absurd amount of projectiles, actually. I don't think I'm gonna be doing this very often. So like, there's no way I do this more than this one time, right? Can't believe this is my life. I genuinely can't think of another attack that the team has even like conceptualized that would require this much. And theoretically, I could actually do this um with fewer. I think my dog is trying to bark at me, but like, Josh, you okay? He's like not able to. He sounds like he's choking. You good? I don't know if you can hear that through the mic, but he's just hitting the. You good? Oh hi, you coming to me?
You gotta stretch first.
You gotta stretch first, old man. You got something to say to me? All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna let him out. I think that's what he's asking for because he has food and water. What are you doing? Why you gotta interrupt? Why are you such a pisser? Why are you the pisser? Go piss.
Bella.
The good son. You let him back in. He's done. All right. The pisser's pissing. Back to dragging and dropping every single element by hand because I hate myself. I really dug my own grave on this one. This one I could have done anything else. All right. few more, and then I can actually do this animation that I've been wanting to do since the very beginning of the stream. Ugh. I'm dying over here. Okay. Final stretch. 3, 2, 1. Yippee! Okay, cool. I can actually just do the thing I wanted to do the whole time now. My God. Okay. We're gonna do a few things first, though. We are going to... Where's my, Hey, buddy. Where's my override button? Where... Unity. Where, oh, where is my override button, Unity? Oh, because I locked it. I'm just stupid. We're gonna do a few things. So we are going to apply all these and apply this. I think that's all I need, actually. All right. So now we're going to go here. I'm going to drag this. And this is going to be a copy of the previous animation, so it's going to look pretty much the same. But we're going to do... I don't think he wants to come back in. He's going to leave. It's going to do that. And I think with spawn point... Ooh, I might need to make... Oh, man, every single attack I think of, like, runs into the issue of, like, I need to actually code some extra stuff for that. And the issue with this is that I want to make an attack that purposely ignores the lock-on. And that's not great, because what I guess, is there any way that I could do it that it doesn't do that? Man. This blows. How am I gonna go about this? Because I need it to lock on for some, but others I just need it to be an animation that doesn't have it. I would need to have this be null, because if it's null, then it just goes in the direction I want it to. This is like annoying the hell out of me. So the other thing is if I do, even if I do a check on it, it's instead doing just like a forward, which means that I need to rotate them to begin with. How would I do it out in a fan pattern that like makes reasonable sense? I could do it that it has a randomized angle, and then that sets its endpoint. Man, I was not thinking that this would have so much extra stuff on top of it. I might end up having to scrap this because this will actually end up being a lot more work than I thought it would be. So the thing with throw objects, so I might need to make because this is a targeted attack. And that kind of makes it difficult because when it's targeted like this, it means that I can't just do like a random spread shot. But I need to set its start and end position before I can shoot it. So that I can actually set the direction. I guess what I could theoretically do is like have a null check on the direction and then see. Yeah, this is a weird one. This might be a bit of a stumper if I'm being real with you. Because what I want it to do, I guess I can start on the animation while I'm thinking aloud. Is I basically want to do a. Actually, I can take it from the idle animation. Actually, no. So I'm gonna do just first of all, I'm just gonna reset all this. I'm just gonna get rid of all of it. I don't need that. I'm gonna go into record. So we're gonna start with just doing a like I want it to be this one instead. We're gonna go up and then we're going to do back, maybe bend this as well. And then we're going to do neck up. I need the neck more up, actually. I need it more like here. Is that correct? I feel like maybe I should do a little less on this. A little more here. Actually, I'm gonna. The main reason why I'm adjusting that is because actually, if I bend it where I was previously, I'm getting less, or I'm getting more distance forward than I wanted. I wanted it to be like more of a mid-ranged attack. And then we're just gonna take the neck And we're gonna hit it with no, one of these. How do I want this to rotate? Maybe I need the head instead. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So let's do what is this? Negative, maybe negative 50. I need it to be more level. So let me do something like this, maybe. And then actually what I can do is I can actually just do this. And we're gonna go here. We're gonna duplicate this. And we're gonna go here. And then we're just gonna swing back and forth. Maybe 2 or 3 times. So that should look like swiveling the head back and forth a few times. So, oh, that like, I don't know why it jittered like that. That was weird. Play that again. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Why is the curve on that like non-existent? That was kind of freaky, honestly. Is there an issue with the curves? Oh yeah, it like falls off a cliff here. Why do you fall off a cliff like that? That's why I found it. Because I literally had it offset. Whoops. Now it should play properly. I don't want it going up and down like that, though. I want it to be more here and here. It's a little iffy, but like that'll get across what I need a lot more, just for at least the test animation. And then I think honestly I can probably just end it around there. How quickly does this move? Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I can maybe make that a little bit slower, maybe closer to like 4, let's do 415 maybe. 414, sure. Be a little bit slower. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna do like negative 67 maybe. Like negative 65. Did I miss it? I did miss it. The reason why I'm doing that is because like that will make it so when it does these now it should be a little smoother. It's still going up a bit. Can I do negative 60? Yeah, that's fine. All right, well, there's the animation, I guess. Now comes the actual hard part of dealing with the rest of it. Oh, and I also need to make sure, because I wasn't rotating the head previously, so I actually need to do this, because that'll fill out the rest of the options. And I can just delete this entirely. This does not need to be in there. Same with these. I don't need all that junk in there. And I don't need the arms either, so I can actually just like full clear this out. Yeah. That's all I need for the animation. Perfect. All right. So now I need a way to spawn projectile with no target. What I could do I can do one of a few things. I can either do I can't do an overload actually, so that one's ruled out. And I can't do an overload specifically because if you do an overload, when you do an animation event, it hates it. It won't let you do it. So I can't do an overload. I guess I just need to do a new method at that point. So I either need a bool that I need to set, or I just need to make a new method. And I think the bool would probably be easier because instead of doing target is null and then the turnion, I could probably just do this. So I'm gonna do how do I want to go about this? So I want a serialized field. Actually, no, I take it back. I want I want it to be public. A public bool. Aim at target. And then I'll just do aim at target. And I am gonna set this to true by default. And I am actually going to undo that a little bit because I'm actually going to have it be a or. So this is now getting to the point where having it be shorthand doesn't make sense anymore. So I'm actually going to write this out longhand now because it makes more sense. So if target not null and aim at target is true, we're gonna aim at the target. Crazy concept. And I'm actually going to, I don't need to take up 4 lines for 1 line of code. And then just else. We'll just take this again. What the? There we go. And then else we'll do this. And then we'll get rid of this. If you're wondering, I was writing it shorthand before because I only had 1 actual variable that I was checking, or 1 condition that I was checking. Now that I have more, it's just not worth it, and this becomes a lot more clear than it was previously. I might want to change this eventually, because this was probably going to be better if I do like what would I want it to be? Spawn point dot forward? Spawn point dot forward probably makes sense more. Because essentially that's just better written. And also means that, like, I guess it's technically the same thing, but it just looks better this way. All right. So that should deal with that little issue. Now what I gotta do is set it up. So first thing I gotta do is close all this up because this is just way too much info. We're gonna open up the spine. We're gonna go to the face. And we are going to, where's this? Okay. I'm going to go to the face. And actually, let me see where, okay, they're like pointing upwards, so that's not super helpful. But I think what we're going to do here is we're going to add our spawn points, because unlike these spawn points, these will not be fixed. So there's spawn point 1. We'll move this down here. Maybe actually a bit further back in the throat. Yeah, maybe here. Perfect. And then we're gonna do, I don't know, 2, maybe 4 more. I'm going to start with 2 just to get the idea across and make sure that this actually works the way I want it to. So I'm going to do, what is this? Oh God. Okay, that's a really small number. Let me do 0.01. That's way too far. 0.005. Sure. And then negative 0.005. And then we're going to do 15? No, negative 15. Maybe I didn't even need to move it that far. Maybe I could have just kept it at 0. But let's see if that... Let's see how that works. Oh, that's why it looks weird. Because I didn't do 15 in the right position. There we go. So now... I should be able to kind of do the same thing that I was doing previously. What is throw objects? Throw object spawn point. Okay. So let me see. So first thing I gotta do. Okay, record. Go here. And make sure that it gets the mist pool. Oh, I also need to set this to true by default. Then when it reloads, we're going to turn that off. Record, going to this, turn that off. And then we're going to go to the very end and just turn this back on just to be safe. And then, how do I want to go about this? Let's see. So once we're in this position, let me kind of see where... Yeah, it's aiming like generally down. I could probably go further with the head, but for now, let's do... Oh, there we go. No, that's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So starting from like right here, I'm going to add an animation event. We're going to do throw object, methods, spawn projectile, and I'm going to just go crazy with it and do like... How many frames we got for this? It's like... We have roughly 330 frames. Spawn a new one every like 3 to 5 frames. Let's just do like... Oh God, okay. Well, that's kind of obnoxious. Okay, let me just do... Let me zoom in on this, because I can actually get more precise with this. Let's do here, 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 and then we're just gonna copy, and we're just gonna go all the way down. I don't know how many this is gonna get to. Hopefully about 30. If not, it's fine because it'll just pull from the last object pool. So this is going to be like a bunch. This is going to be a ton of projectiles, probably too much. They might even collide with each other, in which case I might need to double check something. But let's see, how many more do I got to do? Oh, a lot. Okay. Yeah, let's just get as many as humanly possible, because why not? You know, who's going to stop me? Let me clip this last one. Okay. That is so many. Now how do I want to go about this? Because now I need to change the spawn point. Now theoretically, I could actually see the main issue with, not necessarily issue. One thing I need to work around is that I'm not actually doing a proper pool where like it's checking if the next one is available, which like this should theoretically be checking if it's available. That would be a much better way of doing it and make it closer to an actual object pool, in which case I could actually then connect it to multiple throw object points. The main issue is that I would then... Here, actually, you know what? Just out of curiosity, let me stop recording. If I did throw object here, does this immediately then get mad? No, but it can't be called. Okay, so that's not really worth it, is the issue. Let me undo that. So that's kind of why I need just the one. I could do it so that there's multiple spawn points if I really wanted to. I could do also a spawn projectiles where it launches multiple at once. There's a few ways that I could do this and do it smarter than what I'm like about to do. So I think the other issue, if I did do it that way, if I made, there's a few ways I can go about this. I could make this an array, so you have multiple spawn points, and either it circles through the spawn points or it simply updates them. That wouldn't take that much work. Or actually, that might be the smart way to do it. So you can have multiple spawn points. You could randomize the spawn points. You could increment them. That would probably give me the most functionality. But I think I don't know if I want to do that is the issue. At some point, I do need to do a spawn projectiles, and I will instead just do this a set number of times. I'm considering. I might do that later. For now, though, I think what I'm actually gonna do. How many frames is this? 5 frames. I think I'm gonna say fuck it. Actually, I think I'm actually who who's gonna stop me if I just take literally all of these and like double it up. That looks kind of awful now that it's a no, screw it. Screw it. Why not? Who cares? And then we're gonna hit record again. We're gonna go here. And we're going to just go absolutely ham on this. So we're gonna go spawn point. And we're gonna go every 2. We're gonna go every 2, we're gonna cycle through. So this will actually like randomize this quite a bit. We're just gonna go with this. We're just gonna keep on going with that pattern. Because now this will kind of randomly offset whenever I need it to. I don't think I copy pasted the long one. Oops. But this will be a little bit tedious. And I probably will need to fix this later on if I'm being real with you. This is not a like particularly smart way to do this. But it means I don't need to keep touching code, and right now I don't really want to be touching code. I also need to do throw object method set projectile pool. And that should now... Oh wait, does that not... I would have sworn that I needed to set that in red, but I guess not. All right. This is going to be horrendous. This is going to be awful. But do you want to know what? Who's going to stop me? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just like set this to 60. Who cares? Go here. And then here. I'm actually going to I'm just going to delete that actually, because that'll mean that I can properly spawn this. Okay. This might just break or lag horrendously. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. This might be one of the worst things I've ever done. Okay, let's see. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, as you can see, at a certain point it stops doing it consistently. But that's honestly kind of terrifying. And that's pretty, like, okay, it's too fast, obviously. I gotta say. But other than that, that's pretty close to what I wanted. Um, so first of all, let's just like chill out a little bit. I don't need it to be that quick. And lifetime, I think we're literally gonna do like 1.5 seconds. And is there any check or anything for if like spawn projectile? Do I know what I should do? Do I know what's actually kind of needed? We need to despawn it. Yeah, destroy projectile. Okay. So that'll actually make it a bit more of a pool. So that kind of needed to get done anyways. I'm also gonna rename this to like. Actually, no, I'm not because it's in animations and I don't want to deal with it. So destroy projectile. Yep. So we're gonna disable it, set the points, spawn it, and then it will do what it needs to do. Because I think it's running into some issues where because they're active, it's not wanting to do this. So that should fix the staggering. I also might mess with the animation more. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and we're gonna go into the head rotation here. I'm gonna go back to record. Where is head? Oh, that is really fast for some reason. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do rotation. And we're gonna just take this and go a little bit further. And yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth a little bit more on all of these. And hopefully this doesn't look too awful from the front, but I wanted a little more range with what they're doing. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. All right, let's send it. So this mist should be more spread out. It should be a little bit slower. Let's see. Is it targeting me? No, but it's all shooting forward. In like in a direction that isn't really what I want. Is it because I didn't like multiply it? Or maybe it's not moving with the head. That could also be it. There's a few explanations as to why it's not doing that. Let me see. Where No, that should be working. So maybe I got how I'm shooting my projectiles wrong. Or how I'm aiming my projectiles wrong. Because right now they're all shooting basically forward, which is not... There we go. That's a bit more what I'm looking for. But that's a really solid attack. I'm actually really happy with that. Yeah, it's going to start freaking out because the enemy AI needs some work still. Which is why I keep doing it from like this distance. But like I didn't see any staggers at that point. So I'm going to do a few things. Let me track this. So let's see. So I think one thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase both of these like -20. And that'll give it a bit more wiggle room with where it's spawning. And I think I am going to slow it down a little bit more. Maybe closer to 75. Let's see this. But I'm actually pretty happy with how that looks. This took a lot of setup, but now that it's set up, I'm actually quite happy with how this is working. And if I do this, we're also gonna see a bunch of the mist projectiles like spawn in and out on the hierarchy, so this will be interesting. I think it went too far. There we go. Yeah. That's slowing down a little bit. This is too much. I think I'm spawning in too many at once. But like this is pretty much what I want to see from this attack. I can probably spread them out a bit more. I don't need them as clustered like this because like they're really, really firing at the same time. But honestly, I'm pretty happy with that, all things considered. Um, there's a few more issues that I want to figure out at some point. Like for example, like I can't actually have it like if it was a spear or like any sort of magic that has a direction to it, not just like an orb, I can't actually have it rotate properly because Translate really hates it when you do that. Um, there's also like I would like it to basically have a instead of spawn projectile, I want to spawn projectiles, plural. Um, that way I can kind of rapid fire a couple of these. I could also make this a better object pool where it checks if something is active and not. But this seems to work pretty well for what I need. So now I just gotta see how I want to go about this. I think I also want a I'm not gonna do it today. I'll probably do it when I get an actual animation for this as opposed to my like test animation. So I'm gonna do to do spawn point list. But other than that, that was a pretty good breath attack. That's almost exactly what I wanted. So I think I'm gonna take a short little video for my team and then send it to them on Discord. But that's pretty solid. Now I wish I could run into it, see how much damage this does to me, but unfortunately the enemy AI is just not loving me right now. Here, let me get like a good view of it. Where's my there's the recording. Holly's probably gonna be like, James, what the hell is that? That's evil of you. Holly, I love them. They are so, and I mean this like in the most complimentary way. They are so anal about performance. Um, and they need to be. I think too many game devs just kind of have this idea that it doesn't matter how well something performs because everyone just kind of assumes that like, oh, people got good PCs, it doesn't matter anymore. It does. It really does. Like, there's a time and a place to go, this is a little unoptimized, but it gets the effect that we want better. But I've seen too many devs just go, oh, optimization, who cares? I'm like, you should, frankly. Like, my brother in Christ, that's your job. I'm also going to send this to the Echoes in the Mist Discord. Holly's probably going to yell at me for this one, not going to lie. It needs some tuning, but I'm really happy with that. That actually made me... Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I love game dev. You saw me crash out not even an hour ago, I think. I was like losing my mind. And now I'm feeling great. That was pretty much exactly what I imagined. Like, here, let me I don't think you were in my previous stream where I was designing them, and that was like 2 weeks ago. That is literally like almost exactly what I drew in my little image. Like, I don't think I could ask for more. That's pretty much dead on what I wanted. Um, in fact, that might be the most accurate to what I wanted out of all of these attacks. All these attacks have been kind of like, they're there for, I'm going to do a playtest soon. And they're good for playtesting, but like, the animation is not great. We're waiting on our animator. But we want to make sure that these attacks, like, the values make sense, that the timings feel okay, before we actually ask our animator to like do a bunch of animations and like lose their mind and then be like, actually, we need to scrap all of this. But I was really happy with that, actually. And the best part is I can just like close this up. Let me, because this is like one thing I always need to do. Let me apply all. And does that only apply to you? That's fine. It doesn't need to be applied to the actual model prefab. All right. So I'm actually probably gonna call it. That was a pretty high note to end on. It is about 5 o'clock. It's almost my dinner time. Also, it's a beautiful day out. Um, game devs need to touch grass more often. some of the best ways to make a beautiful world is to go out and see the beautiful world around us. And you're right, I gotta end on a win. That was an absolute win. I'm very happy about that. So I think I'm gonna call it there. Thank you for chatting with me, boss. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I am a yapper, but I need someone to yap to, or else I just die. Um, you have a patch of grass on your desk? That's nuts. That's crazy. But honestly, needed. All right, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you for stopping by. I'm really glad that we ended on a W because this stream was rough today. There was so much going on. But see you later. Bye.